The clinking of dishes and the low hum of conversations filled the small roadside diner, a place most people passed without a second thought. But for Emily, the 22-year-old waitress with tired eyes and an ever-present smile, this diner wasn't just a job, it was survival. She had dreams, of course, ones that stretched far beyond the peeling paint and flickering neon sign. She wanted to finish her nursing degree, to build a life for her younger brother after their parents had died in a car accident 2 years earlier. But for now, all she could afford was to pour coffee, serve burgers, and pray the tips were enough to keep the electricity on at home. That evening, a cold rain battered the windows, and the diner was quieter than usual. Emily carried a tray of steaming mugs to a table of truckers, laughing off their tired jokes even as her feet ached. She had just finished wiping down the counter when the door opened, and a tall, older man stepped inside. His suit was well worn, his shoes scuffed, and yet there was something about the way he carried himself, calm, deliberate, that made him stand out from the usual crowd. He slid into a booth by the window without a word. Emily approached with her usual brightness. "Evening. Can I get you something to eat?" The man looked up, his face weary but kind. "Just some water, please." She smiled and nodded, pouring the glass with her usual care, even slipping a slice of lemon on the rim though the diner didn't charge for it. When she set it down, she noticed the faint tremble in his hands as he lifted the glass. He drank slowly, like every drop mattered. "You're very kind," he said quietly. "It's just water," she replied with a shrug. "Sometimes the smallest gestures mean the most," he said, and there was a weight in his voice that made her pause. Emily wanted to ask more, but another customer waved her down. She hurried away, busying herself with the never-ending demands of the diner. When she returned to the booth a while later, the man was gone. All that remained was the half-empty glass of water, a folded napkin, and a black leather briefcase resting against the seat. Confused, she picked up the napkin. In careful handwriting, it read, "For the smile that reminded me of what still matters. This is for you. Use it well." Her heart raced as she opened the briefcase. Inside was a thick stack of documents and, tucked neatly within, a certified check made out in her name, for $5 million. Her knees went weak. She glanced around the diner, half expecting someone to jump out and say it was a joke. But the man had vanished into the rainy night, leaving behind a gift that was impossible to comprehend. At first, Emily didn't know what to do. Fear gnawed at her. Was it real? Was it safe? She went home that night clutching the briefcase, unable to sleep. The next day, she took the check to the bank. After a tense verification process, the bank manager confirmed it was authentic. The stranger's gift was real. Suddenly, Emily's world shifted. She could pay off the debts that had haunted her since her parents' deaths. She could ensure her younger brother, Daniel, never had to worry about food or school fees again. But Emily didn't stop there. Remembering the man's words about small gestures, she vowed to honor his gift by helping others the way he had helped her. She enrolled back into nursing school, her dream finally within reach. She kept her job at the diner for a while longer, not out of necessity but because she didn't want to forget where she came from. Quietly, she began paying hospital bills for families who couldn't afford them. She funded scholarships for students from broken homes. She renovated the diner's crumbling exterior, giving back to the place that had been her lifeline for so long. Years passed, and Emily's story spread. People admired her generosity, but she never claimed credit. She always told them, it started with a glass of water and a stranger's kindness. One afternoon, long after the diner had become a bustling community hub thanks to her support, a letter arrived at her door. It had no return address, only her name written in the same handwriting she had seen on the napkin years before. With trembling hands, she opened it. Inside was a single sentence. "Thank you for proving I was right about you." Tears filled her eyes. She never saw the man again, never knew his full story, but she felt his presence in every life she touched. His fortune had changed her circumstances, but it was his faith in her that had truly transformed her soul. And so, Emily lived by one unshakable truth. A smile, a gesture, a moment of kindness, no matter how small, can ripple across the world in ways we may never fully understand.